Batman. Joker just put me on acid. You on the way like a maverick. We need to make something happen. Batman, please put me on new fashion.
Hey guys, today's video is gonna be a sit down. You know, I didn't do this enough, but first off, excuse the way I look. It's one of those days. If you didn't already know, I quit social media some days ago, and I made a point about it because I deleted all the apps from my phone. But even if I re-download them and I don't sign in, the apps have no use, they have no impact. It's only in the way you use it. The reason I'm doing that is because I need time to cleanse myself of a certain mindset. Now, for example, on Snapchat, you know, that we all know, it breeds people putting filters on real things, which is cool. It's why I like the app. It's dope. I like the dog filter. Makes me look better. But I mean, the point is that there's a certain point that you get to that you kind of you live in Snapchat, basically. You know, you kind of become the filter and you look at yourself without that, and you can't really see yourself in it anymore. You know, you're kind of looking for something more. Now for Twitter, it's very hard to say something, you know, a bit interesting and maybe that challenges some views without someone trying to, you know, clap back at you. You know, Twitter is good for that. People basically attack you for no reason sometimes. It happens, you know. It's a place where we have a lot of cyberbullying going on. And the problem is not in the apps. I like all these apps. I like every one of them. I love Instagram, you know, photography. I love that. But you also see so much fake, so much, you know, no real connection, really. People driven by likes and people feeling like they can judge you based upon how many likes you get, you know. I'm not here to preach about any of these things. I'm sure we know, at least to some extent, what social media is like. Sinek, in one of his talks about the millennials, social media.
We're growing up in a Facebook, Instagram world. In other words, we're good at putting filters on things. We're good at showing people that life is amazing even though I'm depressed, right? And so everybody sounds tough. And everybody sounds like they got it all figured out. And the reality is there's very little toughness and most people don't have it figured out. So you have an entire generation growing up with lower self-esteem than previous generations through no fault of their own, right? They were dealt a bad hand. Now let's add in technology. We know that engagement with social media and our cell phones releases a chemical called dopamine. That's why when you get a text, feels good. It's why we count the likes. It's why we go back 10 times to see if my Instagram is growing slower, did I do something wrong? Do they not like me anymore, right? The trauma for young kids to be unfriended, right? Because we know when you get a hit of dopamine, which feels good. It's why we like it. It's why we keep going back to it. Dopamine is the exact same chemical that makes us feel good when we smoke, when we drink, and when we gamble. In other words, it's highly, highly addictive. Basically, it's becoming hardwired, and what we're seeing is as they grow older, too many kids don't know how to form deep, meaningful relationships. Their words, not mine. They will admit that many of their friendships are superficial. Deep, meaningful relationships are not there because they never practice the skill set, and worse, they don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with stress. So when significant stress starts to show up in their lives, they're not turning to a person, they're turning to a device, they're turning to social media, they're turning to these things which offer temporary relief, right? There's nothing wrong with social media and cell phones. It's the imbalance. The worst case scenario is we're seeing an increase in suicide rates. We're seeing more and more kids drop out of school or take leaves of absence due to depression. Unheard of. This is really bad. The best case scenario is you'll have an entire population growing up and going through life and just never really finding joy. They'll never really find deep fulfillment in work or in life. They'll just waft through life and it'll be just, it's fine. How's your job? It's fine. The same as yesterday. How's your relationship? It's fine. Like that's the best case scenario.
In this generation, there's like this pent up frustration and emptiness that we feel. I don't know if you feel it, but I feel like social media, it's a cool place to connect with the world. You can really meet a lot of people. And you can share your art and people can share theirs with you. You can form long-term relationships with people you probably will never meet. But besides the point, I feel like I just need time to cleanse myself of that dopamine. I'm not like a highly social person, like active person on social media anyway, so I can imagine what it's like for people that are way up there. I feel like sometimes it's just important for for us to really sit down and kind of like gauge things, ask questions, you know, kind of like deep why we're doing what we're doing, instead of just like going through life taking it as it comes. Because I know like they tell us to go to school 6 years of high school, and then we go to college for 4 more years or 5. They tell us to do these things so that we can be work ready, and when we're work ready we can be employed, and when we're employed we can get a salary, and when we have a salary we can have a family, and when we have a family we can get a salary, and then we supposed to grow our family and make sure they kind of just go through the same cycle, you know? Think of a country as a business. You want to minimize risk in your business by having a set plan for things to go through, so you don't have to think about things. We should be more involved with self-education than focusing education in the school system, you know? Be more educated than they educate you. So it's more like choose what you want to learn, choose what you want to watch, what you want to read, what you want to see, and what you want to put into your brain. Because you see, the brain doesn't forget things. Even though we think we forget, it's like it's still in there. I mean, if you have a glass cup and you put water in it, of course it's made of water. If you add sand, there's going to be sand in the water. We live in a fast-paced world because of social media. A year can go by that quick. So sometimes we just have to remember to kind of just slow down and really process everything that we are and everything that we want to be, and you know, be sure of kind of what it is you're doing. And if you don't feel sure about something, then stop for a moment. No one's holding you back from doing anything. It's just your brain or your mind telling you you can't do these things. No mindset is fixed, no life is fixed. Everything can be changed. Everything and anything can be shaped and morphed into different things. Even if you're not so sure what it is you want to do in life or where it is you're going, at least you're aware of where you are. Be aware of that. The more you are aware of yourself and your surroundings, the more conscious you will be. Consciousness is awareness. Are you aware of the time? Are you aware of the temperature? Are you aware of the time of day? All this kind of contributes to that. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you for watching, really, if you sat through this whole thing. If you did like it, do share my video, and also do subscribe. I hope you're having a good day. Bye.